on this Monday afternoon, October 21st. High winds paired with drought conditions have taken over the state recently, putting our area in high fire danger. This means that even a spark from your lawnmower or machinery can start a fire. The Iowa County Communications Center received 4 fire calls yesterday afternoon between 1:50 and 3:50. The first was a tractor in Baylor on fire on D Street in the township of Pulaski. Avoca Fire Department, Avoca EMS, and Iowa County Sheriff's Deputy and Wisconsin DNR Warden responded to the scene. The fire was extinguished and there were no injuries reported. The second at 2:40 was an unattended brush fire on State Road 191 near Sunny Ridge Road in the township of Waldwick. Hollandale Fire responders, Barneveld Fire, Dodgeville Fire, Ridgeway Fire, Mineral Point Fire, and Dodgeville EMS responded to the scene. The fire was extinguished and there were no injuries reported. At 3:20, the Iowa County Communications Center received a report of farm equipment in a field on fire on Alfred Drive in the township of Ridgeway. Ridgeway Fire, Ridgeway First Responders, Barneveld Fire, Barneveld Area Rescue Squad, Mineral Point Fire, and an Iowa County deputy responded to the scene. The fire was extinguished and there were no injuries reported. The final call yesterday afternoon came at 3:50. It was a report from an alarm company of a fire alarm activation in a home on Griffiths Road in the township of Dodgeville. Dodgeville Fire, Dodgeville EMS, Spring Green Fire, and an Iowa County Sheriff's Deputy responded to the scene. The alarm was cleared and there were no injuries reported. A fire was also reported Saturday afternoon around 12:35 when a combine caught fire in the township of Mineral Point. The National Weather Service reports that continued dry conditions, low humidities, and unseasonably warm temperatures will be conducive for quick starting fires today. Winds are expected to remain below critical levels. Exercise caution with any outdoor burning. Frozen waffles sold at Publix, Target, Walmart, and other stores are recalled over a listeria risk. Treehouse Foods issued a voluntary recall Friday. The Food and Drug Administration said its recall alert that listeria is an organism that can cause serious and sometimes fatal infections in young children, frail or elderly people, and others with weakened immune systems. Treehouse Foods said the issue was discovered through routine testing at their manufacturing facility in Brantford, Ontario, Canada. There are just 2 weeks until 2 crucial events happen on the calendar: Election Day and the end of daylight saving time. We will fall back an hour on Sunday, November 3rd, to allow for more daylight in the mornings. This change gives us an extra hour of sleep, but the time change can still cause confusion and disruptions to the schedules for children and pets. The push to stop changing clocks was put before Congress in the last couple of years when the U.S. Senate unanimously approved the Sunshine Protection Act in 2022, which was a bill to make daylight saving time permanent. However, the U.S. House of Representatives did not pass it, and President Joe Biden did not sign it. Suicide rates have been on the rise in Wisconsin since 2019. As of 2022, they found that over 50% of suicides in Wisconsin had to do with either relationship issues or physical health problems, and older men in rural areas were at the highest risk. They also found that over 16% of adult suicides in the states were veterans. The Richland County Republicans held a meet and greet cookout over the weekend. 3 candidates were on hand to meet residents. They were Assembly Representative Tony Kurtz, State Senator Joan Ballweg, and State Supreme Court candidate Brad Schimmel. Kurtz and Ballweg stated that there is misinformation on the Republican stance on abortion. All 3 stated that they are not in favor of a total abortion ban. State Senator Joan Ballweg says her opponents are lying about her stance on abortion.
I am not against contraception. I am not against working with women who have infertility issues up to IVF. I have family and friends who have gone down that path to be successful to grow their families. And I believe that the life of the mother is the paramount consideration in all cases.
Former Attorney General and State Supreme Court candidate Brad Schimmel believes there should be options for women.
I approach this with humanity. First off, I recognize that it's a very hard decision for a woman who finds herself in an unplanned pregnancy, especially if they're in poverty and they're afraid they're going to have to raise their baby in a car or have an abortion, or an abuser got them pregnant and they're afraid that now I'm going to be locked with this abuser forever because of this child. Those are horrible decisions. We should, as a society, do a better job of offering them help so they have a real choice. But I also approach it from a humanity side because my two daughters are adopted. Two 18-year-old young women who still lived at home, were still in school, had the courage and the love to give my wife and I a family we can't have biologically. My daughters are 23 and 21 now. I could never look them in the eye, or those birth moms who made that sacrifice for us. I could never look any of them in the eye and be anything other than pro-life.
Ballweg is running for state senator in the newly redistricted 14th Senate District. She is being challenged by Sarah Kieski. Assembly Representative Tony Kurtz is running for another term in the redistricted 41st Assembly District. He is being challenged by Julia Henley. Voters will have a chance to choose the candidate that best represents their interest during the general election on November 5th. Brad Schimmel and Susan Crawford are both running in the nonpartisan election for Wisconsin Supreme Court Justice, which will be held April 1st. Republican vice presidential nominee Senator J.D. Vance spoke at a rally at Stein's Aircraft Services at the Waukesha County Airport. Vance spoke on the border and the economy, saying Democratic nominee Vice President Kamala Harris's policies have cost Wisconsin residents thousands of dollars. The visit marks Vance's fifth stop in Wisconsin, following his most recent visit to De Pere at the end of August. Voters are being asked to amend the Wisconsin Constitution. Currently, the Wisconsin Constitution reads that every U.S. citizen, age 18 or older, can vote if voters approve the ballot referendum. The every would be changed to only. While some non-citizens have been allowed to vote in local elections in other states, no Wisconsin municipalities currently allow that. Republican State Senator Julian Bradley says there have been states and municipalities, including in Maryland, Washington, D.C., and California and others, who have taken the word to every to be not exclusionary of any non-citizens, which is allowing non-citizens to vote in state and local elections. Bradley calls the referendum a no-brainer, but Deborah Cronmiller with the League of Women Voters argues this should be a local decision. The Republican-authored ballot measure passed two prior sessions of the Wisconsin legislature, where Republicans control both the Senate and the Assembly. Western Wisconsin will see a number of politicians campaigning ahead of the fall election, which is 2 weeks from tomorrow. Today, Senator Tammy Baldwin will be in Prairie du Chien and also visit UW-La Crosse. Another senator, Elizabeth Warren, will be in La Crosse to promote early voting and to campaign for Democrats on the ballot. Elsewhere, Democratic presidential nominee Kamala Harris will be in Waukesha today, and her running mate, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, will be in Madison with former President Barack Obama tomorrow. Early in-person voting kicks off in Wisconsin tomorrow. Local clerks are saying they are prepared for high turnout. The Wisconsin Elections Commission is projecting over 2 million voters doing it early. To see your ballot and early in-person options, check out myvotewi.gov. Ahead of the Wisconsin general election on November 5th, the Wisconsin Department of Transportation, Division of Motor Vehicles, reminds citizens how to obtain identification free of charge that is valid for voting. Valid identification for voting purposes includes a driver license, identification card, military or student ID card. There is no separate voter ID. A federally compliant real ID card is not required for voting purposes. Anyone unsure if their identification meets the requirements should visit the Wisconsin Elections Commission website to check. Begin online to see a list of the required documents that are needed to present at a DMV customer service center in order to obtain identification to show at the polls. You can find that at wisconsindmv.gov/ID cards. A process is available to U.S. citizens free of charge to obtain a receipt valid to take to the polls for voting if the ID card is not available in time. Start the application now at wisconsindmv.gov or at a local DMV customer service center. To find a DMV, check hours, services, and wait times. Visit wisconsindmv.gov/centers. Anyone with questions related to obtaining an ID that can be used to vote should call DMV's toll-free hotline at 844-588-1069. The EPA is moving forward with plans to establish new federal carbon pollution standards for power plants after a U.S. Supreme Court ruling last week. Ashley Radzinski is with the Great Lakes Business Network. She says she's glad the work on new rules continues uninterrupted.
This is not a looming crisis in the future. This is something that is here already. We're having much more impactful storms that are causing power outages across our states.
Radzinski says severe climate events are bad for the U.S. economy.
So we need climate action now to ensure that our economy can be planned, can move forward in a way that's good for business, that's good for communities, that's good for our families.
Opponents argue the EPA is overstepping its authority. Power companies had asked the High Court for a pause on work toward tougher standards. A warning from the Better Business Bureau about phony debt collectors. Spokesperson Lisa Schiller says people are getting calls to pay for debts they've already paid off from agencies they've never heard of. Ask for their name, company, street address, and telephone number. Do not provide any bank account, credit card, or other personally identifiable information over the phone. Schiller says a legitimate agency will provide you with a listing of what debts you owe and who you owe them to in writing by mail. If they won't, contact the BBB or your local consumer protection agency. The Riverdale One Act, When Bad Things Happen to Good Actors, advanced from the District 10 festival held at the Reedsburg PAX Saturday. The cast and crew performed for a house of parents, grandparents, adjudicators, and high school actors and directors from Reedsburg and Barneveld. This comedy, written by Jason Pizzarello and Ian McWethy, tells the story of a high school theater troupe putting on a one-act, non-musical version of The Wizard of Oz. The trouble is, their director has not been active or present at many of the rehearsals, making for a horrific performance. Members of the cast and crew include Abe Schneider, Adrian Rush, Alex Schneider, Archer Imhoff, Ben Bremer, Braley Bedward, Delaney Imhoff, Ezra Noble, Hayden Wolf, Candace McGraw, Movana Zarbach, Nora Wolf, Sienna Deglow, Vivian Benedict, Brandon Meese, Destiny Bonds, and Electra Justham. The group will perform next in competition at Waunakee High School Saturday, November 9th at a yet-to-be-determined time. The play is directed by Catherine Benedict and Chris Simonson. The coolest thing made in Wisconsin is Jolly Good Soda. The product won the annual contest put on by Wisconsin Manufacturers and Commerce, which draws attention to Wisconsin's vibrant manufacturing industry. The announcement, which came during WMC's annual Business Day event Thursday in Madison, said the craft soda brand is known for its bold flavors and vibrant cans. More than 130 products were nominated for the contest, with over 150,000 votes determining the winner. Passages will be holding an annual event Tuesday at Crosscut Park in Richland Center. The event, Bev's Walk, Believing Every Victim, is held in memory of Beverly Burns, who did so much to help others. Chris Simonson is president of the board for Passages.
Bev was such an important part of Passages for so many years as an advocate for those in need, especially as a legal advocate, working with people when they had court dates, whether it was for a restraining order or whatever. Bev knew what was happening legally for them and would advocate for them and let them know, okay, here is what you are allowed to do under the law, and these are the type of things that we should be requesting of the judge and those sort of things. So Bev was more than an advocate to the people who were most in need, and she was just, again, as I say, such a significant part of Passages for over 20 years.
The event is important for Passages, which helps victims of abuse in Richland, Vernon, and Crawford counties. Jessica Brown is the program manager for Passages.
Yeah, it'd be absolutely important for us to get back in the community, let them know that we are still here, but also remembering Bev and what great work she did for our agency. We are open and helping victims and survivors every day. We're here to support the community. We have great work going on right now in our Crawford County. We have an amazing advocate there. She is doing great work, and hopefully we are going to be picking back up in the other 2 counties that we serve.
The event will get underway at 5 and will last until 7:30. In addition to the walk, there will be food vendors, guest speakers, other activities, and music.
We're going to have the Pink Whiskey Band. They're based out of Prairie du Chien. Our Crawford County advocate helped find this band in the area. They are donating their time for us to come play. And we'll also have face painting for the kids as well. I have a few ladies that have volunteered their time to come and do the face painting. It'll be a great event.
The walk will take place on the Rotary Light Path in the park. Chris Simonson says there will be a special feature along the path.
Added to that loop for the walk, those of you who have been there, you know that there's some things that were set up by the Brewer Library to put pages from books there. So, you can read stories as you walk through that, and they would change them every so often. We have survivors' stories that are going to be placed along that walk for people to read.
All proceeds will support the Grateful Scholarship in memory of Bev Burns. Passages invites everyone to Bev's Walk, Believing Every Victim, Tuesday at Crosscut Park in Richland Center. More information about the event and Passages can be found at passagesrc.org. The second annual Richland Center Pumpkin Fest will take place Wednesday through Sunday. Many activities are planned for the event. Suzanne Anderson is the creator and an organizer of Pumpkin Fest.
A lot of exciting things happening this year. We worked with the city and got the street closed. Central Avenue is going to be closed on Saturday. So we're going to have a lot of events there. We're going to have face painting. We're going to also have a pumpkin pedal pull sponsored by Mick Cosgrove and his organization. We are having a pie eating contest sponsored by the Lions. And there's also going to be a craft show at the Eagle School this year. A lot of neat events coming, a lot bigger this year than last year. Come on down on that Saturday. Friday night, we have a costume contest at 7 p.m. at the courthouse. Also, the winners of all the pumpkins will be known by then, and so we will give away little prizes to any of the winners.
Children in the school district were given the opportunity to create this year's theme for Pumpkin Fest. The chosen theme is Out of This World.
We threw this out to kindergartners through 5th grade in all the public schools in the Richland Center area, and we got quite a few awesome responses, and we chose the theme as Pumpkins in a Galaxy Far, Far Away by Austin Ewing, and he is a 5th grader at the intermediate school, and we are so happy that he has been very involved. He was involved last year as far as doing a pumpkin, and he just is excited about this, and we are so excited to honor him and honor his theme because I can see the possibilities of so many awesome alien pumpkins and all kinds of neat things that hopefully will come of this. And I just think it's really great that Austin has given us this idea.
Pumpkins for competition and display can be dropped off at the courthouse lawn display area Wednesday starting at 3:30. There will also be something new this year to take part in.
There will be a big orange fence around the grassy area, and there will be categories and areas for kids to put their pumpkins and their creations in. They don't have to be carved. They could be created from construction paper. Anything you can think of, we will enter for you. This year, new item for the school-age kids is a STEM program, so the science, technology, engineering, and math, and there's criteria and a rubric for that. You can find everything on Richland Center Pumpkinfest.com or Richland Center Pumpkin Fest Facebook. You can go right there and get all the rules and the rubric for that.
Suzanne Anderson says that anyone can decorate a pumpkin entry for Pumpkin Fest.
There's so many categories. There's happy and fancy, weird, ugly, and scary. Of course, you can go with the theme, Austin's theme, Pumpkins in a Galaxy Far, Far Away. So I can envision a lot of different alien pumpkins and spaceship pumpkins and all kinds of neat things for that. There's many categories, and this is open to anybody, any age. You can be 1 year old to 99. We'll take your pumpkin. And it's free, and it's a community thing, and it's just going to be really great.
The second annual Richland Center Pumpkin Fest will kick off Wednesday when entries will be accepted on the courthouse lawn from 3:30 until 7. Pumpkins will be on display through Sunday with many fun events happening throughout the weekend. You can find more information at rcchamber.org/pumpkinfest and also on the Richland Center Pumpkin Fest Facebook page. The Aging and Disability Resource Center of Vernon County is offering a free caregiver boot camp. This is a free educational survival program for families coping with Alzheimer's disease and other dementias. The program is presented by two dementia care specialists, Teresa Gander from ADRC of Vernon County and Pam Kohlberg from the ADRC of Eagle Country. Topics will include Dementia 101, Dementia Live, Tough Conversations, Caring for the Caregiver, questions and answers, and information on community resources. The free caregiver boot camp will be hosted at the Viola United Methodist Church Friday, November 1st from 9:30 to 3. Lunch and snacks will be provided. To register, contact Teresa at the ADRC of Vernon County at 608-637-5201. The registration deadline is October 23rd. The Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources joins the nation in celebrating Forest Products Week this week through Saturday. The week recognizes the people who work in and care for our forest, the industry workers who make the forest products we depend on, and the many ways forest products contribute to Wisconsin's economy and quality of life. Wisconsin's forest products industry contributes $37.8 billion in total economic value to the state and ranks second nationally for production value. The industry also ranks sixth nationally in generating forestry employment with more than 123,000 jobs in the state. Forest products are not only important to Wisconsin's economy, but they positively impact our lives from paper products to lumber. Forest products also play a vital role in mitigating the changing climate. Trees store carbon, offsetting greenhouse gas emissions, while they are growing, and they retain the stored carbon throughout the useful life of forest products. Forest Products Week recognizes the industry workers who harvest, transport, and transform logs into valuable products, and the woodland owners and professional foresters who care for the 17 million acres of forest in Wisconsin to ensure that they provide raw forest materials while also offering recreational opportunities and ecosystem services such as clean water and air. Learn more about the economic importance of Wisconsin forest products on the DNR website. October is Financial Planning Month in Wisconsin. Governor Evers' proclamation aims to highlight the critical role that financial planning plays in achieving financial security and encourages you to revisit or create a financial plan that will help improve your overall financial health and protect yourself and your family from future financial stress and uncertainty. It also encourages you to plan for unexpected events with the right insurance coverage so your pocketbooks are protected from unforeseen health issues, car accidents, and other property damage. Learn more about insurance coverage by visiting the Wisconsin office of the Commissioner of Insurance website or calling 608-266-3585.